Hey, hello everybody, welcome back to one more time Clancy's Division 2 video. Right, so in today's video I'm gonna bring you guys my first PVE build. The build that I think is best right now. I've been rocking this build, I'm loving it. It has a good balance between damage and sustained survivability, and it helps me doing any challenge mode right now, which is pretty easy, but it's gonna make it a lot easier with this build. This build actually synergizes a lot because of the talents I have on it, and I've been seeing a lot of people making builds where they saying they have 100 and something or whatever damage to elite, but I believe right now you should balance your build, not going crazy with over 100 damage to elite and forget about everything else, because on the missions right now you can't find an insane amount of NPCs that are yellow. You might find like 4 maybe on challenge, so what's the point on having 132 damage to elite if you're not really gonna use it? So I believe you should balance it with some raw damage and a good amount of survivability, which is what this build is all about. That way any player can use it to any type of challenge. So let's take a look at the build, right? So this is gonna be my build, guys, and for this build I'm wearing 3 Wyvern Wear brand sets, 1 Pharynx Group AB, 1 Gila, and 1 Murakami. Before I move on with the build and show you all the stats and attributes, I want you to pay attention right here on my stats, which is very important for this build because that's what makes this build work and it's gonna unlock my talents. So for this build I have 5 offensive attributes, 8 defensive attributes, and 3 utilities attributes. The reason why I'm showing you this because you want to have 5 or less offensive, which is gonna unlock some of my talents, same as 7 or more defense attributes. With that in mind, this build is gonna work, otherwise it's not gonna work the way I have it set up. You really have to pay attention and make sure you have what I'm saying in here on the attributes. For the utilities, it doesn't really matter. Right, moving on for the build, we're gonna start with the mask. For the mask I have a Wyvern Wear, and then when you have the first piece, is gonna give you 7% critical hit damage. If you have 2 pieces, it's gonna be 15% drone skill power, and then with the 3 piece, it's gonna be 10% critical hit chance. For the attributes, it's gonna be 417 skill power and then 4.5% critical hit chance. With the talents, I have hard hitting, which is 15% damage to elite. This is gonna help me a lot doing that damage against those yellow NPCs when they show up. Moving on, for the second piece is gonna be the Pharynx Group AB, and it's gonna be the chest piece. I only have 1 and it gives me 10% assault rifle damage. Very important for this build since it's an assault rifle build. For the attributes, I have 10,755 bonus armor on this chest piece, which is a good amount of bonus armor, and then 11,641 health with 5% critical hit chance. I wish I had weapon damage in here. I could change it in the future. Right now I have only critical hit chance, but I do recommend having weapon damage in here. For the talents, I have Berserker, which is one of the best talents in the game right now, and it only works with shotgun, SMG, and assault rifles. What it does is 10% weapon damage for every 10% of max armor depleted. So every time you lose that armor, you're gonna be able to do a lot more damage with this build. Second talent is gonna be hard hitting, which is 15% damage to elite. It's gonna go really well with this build, which is gonna help us hit hard against those yellow NPCs. My holster is gonna be another Wyvern Wear. It unlocks all the 3 stats right here on the top once you have 3 pieces of this equipped. And then for this holster, I have on the attribute critical hit damage 16.5%. Now I prefer if I had critical hit chance, but I'm using this Wyvern Wear on not a build and I need this critical hit damage, so I'm not gonna change it right now, but I do recommend having critical hit chance in here instead, just so you can proc that clutch if you need to a lot more. And then for the talent, A very good talent, especially for assault rifle. I think is gonna be the devastating talent, which gives you 5% weapon damage, raw damage. I do have another one that I could use, which is gonna be this one. I do like this one. It actually helps me proc that clutch talent a lot more, because for this one I have 11% critical hit chance, and the talent surgical, which give me plus 8% critical hit chance, with a total of 19% critical hit chance on this build if I equip this. Sometimes I switch between them and it works fine, because the clutch is gonna proc a lot more. It's not a huge, the clutch that I have on this build, it works very well, it synergizes very well, but I do prefer the damage in here over this clutch, because I already have so much healing from the other talent that I'm going to show you. So the clutch is just a bonus in there for this build. For the backpack is going to be the last Wyvern wear. It unlocks, like I said, these 3 stats on the top when you have 3 of them, which I have. And then for the attributes on this backpack, I have 3% weapon damage. I wish if I had more, but I can't change it right now. I do not have anything that gives me more weapon damage right now, and I'm gonna need that for War Tier 5, but it works just fine right now. For the second one, it's gonna be 7,979 bonus armor, and then the last one is 4,877 health. So it's pretty good backpack. Just wish my weapon damage in here on the attribute was a little bit higher. And the talent is going to be hard hitting, which is very good against those yellow NPCs, 15% damage to elite. And then one of the best talents in the game right now, and the best talent of this build, which is going to make this build work very well, is going to be Safeguard. Killing a target grants 150 bonus to repairing and healing effect for 20 seconds. So this is one of the start of the show on this build. So as you see right now on the requires, it says 5 or less of the offensive attributes. And that's why I said to pay attention to the attributes in the beginning of this video, because you really need to have 5 or less for the Safeguard to actually work. If you have more than that, it will not work. Alright, for the gloves, I have a Gilligard gloves, and then it's gonna be 1 piece, which is gonna give me that 5% total armor. It's just extra armor on top of everything. It's just fine, it comes very handy. Then for the attributes, I have 4,600 health, and then 4% assault rifle damage to adapt to that damage on the assault rifle. And then for the talents, I have clutch, a very known talent right now on the gloves, and what it does is critical hits restore 15% health and repair 2% armor. This is a very good talent. It works very well in this build, believe it or not, but I do prefer if I had precise. I have not found the precise on the gloves yet, or the devastating. I believe the devastating might drop on the gloves. I'm not too sure, but I'm sure that precise drops on the gloves. And then for the last piece, I have the Murakami Industries, which is gonna give me 8% health when I have 1 piece, which is what I have on this build. And then for the attributes, I have 7,399 health. And then for the talents, I have another great talent that synergizes really well in this build, which is going to be Patience. After being covered for 3 seconds, armor repairs by 5% every 1 second. The amount of healing you get from this build once you have Safeguard proc and you are in cover, it's insane. You only need to kill 1 NPC and then that's it. The build is gonna work by itself. And then you have clutch. Once you're shooting NPC, it's gonna give you more healing as you're killing the NPC. And like I said, if you want to proc that clutch a lot more, you can just switch that holster for the talent surgical, and then you'll have a lot more procs from the clutch. But believe me, this clutch is gonna be just the extra bonus, because that patience and that weapon talent that I have is gonna help me get so much healing from NPC once I kill him, that all those talents are gonna proc and help me a lot. So with that said, moving on for the guns, My primary weapon is going to be the custom P416 G3 as an assault rifle, one of my favorite assault rifle in the games right now. The damage is 15.1k, RPM 750 with 60 on the magazine. Alright, the talents that I have, the first one is going to be preservation, which is killing an enemy repairs 5% armor for over 3 seconds, and then headshot kills improves this repair. And then the second talent is going to be plus 10% rate of fire, and then the third talent is going to be recharge. While equipped, skills deployed at full armor have 25% duration, charge, and ammo. Alright, moving on for the first talent, let's talk about the first talent. Alright, so the reason that it works very well in this build because I found out that preservation actually works with the talent safeguard. Remember I said safeguard, just put asteroids and any other healing effects that you have in this build. Well, it works also for this talent, the preservation. Once I kill an NPC that 5% armor repair over 3 seconds, it might not be that great though, because on that case I wouldn't use preservation, but once you have safeguard activated, actually that's a very good amount of repair that you get for your armor over the fights. And then you keep killing NPCs, that preservation is activating, and you having healing over time all the time. Preservation is not bad. It's not like someone said in my comments that is the worst talent. It's not the worst talent, you just gotta use it the right way. Now, if you have another gun that has any other talent in here, the best I would recommend, I have another P416, which is this one right here, and it has Optimist, Allegro, and Stop, Drop, and Roll. Alright, with all that said, now let's talk about the specialization that you want to use on this build. That's gonna help you with this assault rifle build. It's gonna be the obvious survivalist specialization. So the reason why you want to use specialization survivalist, of course, because you can get up to 15% increase assault rifle damage. And then for the second talent that I'm looking for in this specialist is going to be Triage Specialist, which is 15% increase outgoing healing. Now I believe this works with the drone, I'm not 100% sure, but leave in the comment section below if I'm right or wrong. But in the group this works very well, it will help you give more healing to your group. And then for the third talent that I'm looking for, it's gonna be Elite Defense, which is plus 15% increased protection from elite. Now taking a look at the build stats, you can see I have all the talents unlocked. And then for the gun stats, which is going to be my P416, I have 29.5% critical chance, 59% critical hit damage, 57 headshot damage, and then if we scroll down more, it's going to be 8% all weapon damage, 29% assault rifle damage, and then 55% damage to elite. Like I said, I don't need much of damage to elite, I can do just as much damage. And then for the critical hit chance, I have 29%, but if I switch that holster from devastating to surgical, I will have plus 19% critical hit chance, which will put me at 48% critical hit chance and 42% critical hit damage, with my damage of the weapon dropping down to 14.5 per bullet. So for the skills, I'm using the Hive and the Drone. The Hive mod is gonna be the Reviver mod, which is gonna help you a lot as you solo play because it will pick you up if you go down. Now a quick tip though, once you go down, when it picks you up, don't move at all. As soon as they pick you up, press your button to use the med kit, because for a few seconds you are immune to any damage. If you move, you're gonna lose that immune. And then the second skill is gonna be the Drone Fixer. Like I said, you could use the Kim Launcher, the Reinforcer, it's just fine, it works just fine, it will heal you a lot. But for preference, I do like using the Fixer Drone because it will synergize just well with this build and it works just fine for me. If you wanna, just use the Kim Launcher. Alright guys, that's gonna be it. That's the best build I feel as of right now, and I feel this build is gonna be working just fine also for that raid that is coming on this Friday, and I cannot wait to try this build on the World Tier 5. This build is awesome. Give it a try and see how it works. I'm gonna bring more builds, more different type of builds, but so far, believe me, this is my favorite build so far. The damage is there, the survivability is insane in here. So I think that's it. That's the best thing that you can have for a solo play, because you cannot have only damage, you need that survivability. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoy. If you enjoy, hit that like, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.